So when we're dealing with a fluid and we want to describe or predict what a fluid is doing or wants to do, it's super helpful to look at the fluid's energy. And when I say energy, there's three things that primarily make up the fluid's energy. We have its pressure, its velocity, and its height. So if we're dealing with a fluid like water or gas, it could get some energy from being pumped, which would give it some pressure and velocity, or we could raise it up above the ground. So for the case of siphoning, we can ignore the first two because siphoning is just a matter of moving fluid to different heights. So we're only dealing with this last one. So something important to keep in mind with fluids is that it always wants to be at equilibrium. So if it's at a case of high pressure, high velocity, or high height, and you give it a path to get to a place of low pressure, low velocity, or low height, it's going to want to do that. So I'll draw a picture to make this even clearer. And we'll draw the ground as a reference. We'll call that height 0. And then we'll draw a gas can, whatever. So if we wanted to transfer that gas to another container, the simplest thing we could do is just put the container underneath of it and cut a hole in the gas tank, and the fluid would that would be its path to get to a place of lower height or lower energy. But usually when we're dealing with siphoning, we can't move this gas tank or cut a hole in it or anything like that. So we usually use a hose to help facilitate that transfer. I'll draw it over here, because usually it'll be outside of the car. Okay, and we'll stick our hose in it. So we've given it a path to get from a place of high energy to low energy, or high height to low height. But since the tube is then coming out of the car and going above the gas tank, we need some way to get the gas to the point of highest energy. Because you can think, if we just stick the tube in there, the gas isn't going to want to do anything. Because it would technically be going from a place of, we'll say, medium height to even higher height, which it's not going to want to do. It only wants to go from high to low. So we help get the gas up to its highest point by sucking on the tube and blah, 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 until it reaches its peak. And then from that point, it'll naturally draw it down because you've given it a clear path from a point of high height to low height. But important to keep in mind, the container has to be lower than our gas tank, and we have to get the fluid to its peak in the hose. And yeah, thanks for watching.